So just refining the shape of this person-shaped rock to make it more person-shaped. Sometimes it means having to, you notice how, I just paint right over things. This is the nice thing about defocusing your eyes. For those of you who haven't noticed, this is the second episode of a two-part or multiple part demonstration. Defocus your eyes so that you don't get caught in the trap of trying to get perfect details and perfect colors or perfect shapes, perfect transitions. You have to be a little bit loose in that respect. Just fixing that. Using the white to indicate this is, I'm treating this as if, the camera has a flash. So anything that is facing the camera is going to light up. Any area that turns away from the camera is going to be left dark. So, like that. In this case, I'm going to have to add a little bit of dark cast shadow. So you get the idea, I hope. Have to rely on. Okay, now in the case of here where his hands are holding the ball, I'm going to have to refine this. So first things first is deal with the silhouette, figure out where's the palm of the hand. Any other fingers. And keep it simple. So you can see this is how the painting works. Now, if you wanted to go and you wanted to do something that was in color, then it involves having to make rocks out of different materials. So, in the previous episodes in the series, I was talking about color swatches, being able to make. Oops. Being able to make, a ball out of material. Right, now this is the same thing. This is you're making a rock, except in this case I made a rock out of flesh, out of a flesh tone. Don't think colors. Don't think flesh color. Don't think this is the color of metal. Don't think this is the color of water. The thing is that water. Well, if you ever looked at a glass of water, it's what? It's transparent. So you look at the sky. In some photographs where the sky is exposed, it's white. So think materials. Think of a rock made of the material that it is you're trying to create. So if we try to make a person, if you want to paint people, you want to paint things in color, then you have to be able to deal with making rocks out of that material that it is you are trying to create. So if I want to create a person, I need to be able to create a rock that looks like it's been made out of flesh. I want it to be a little bit pinker in the midtones and more towards the orange and white as things get brighter. I might even have an overexposed region like that. And I'll just trim off this stuff. So you need to be able to create your materials before you can sit down and try and paint something. You need to be able to create these different It's not about colors, it's about being able to reproduce a material. You want to make something that looks like it's made out of vegetation. And start, what does the thing look like when it's not lit? And then when it is lit, you have to build up. Alright, so find the colors. Fuzz your eyes out. Don't worry about getting perfect transitions. Don't worry about banding or any of that sort of thing. It's too soon to worry about that kind of thing. You want to make a satin. Sometimes, it helps to study photographs, like I was doing in some of the previous episodes. And so this is more of a satin shader. And then somewhere in there, so that reflects back. So get used to sculpting. Need to use some. The more things turn away, the darker they have to get. So some of these areas here that are all flat purple, I may have, if I want them to curve further, then I have to use darker colors. If this area here is looking too flat and I want this to round out even more, then I may wind up having to use a brighter color. Same thing here. This area here looks so flat, I might have to just punch it up a bit. If I want to punch it up even more, then I got to use very, very skinny strip of white. So sometimes it's also about being able to control the curvature of an object. You have to get used to saying, if you want a very gradual groove or a very gradual curve, then you need to use wider colors. Now this area here, it's not curving away enough, so you have to use something dark to force it to curve away. But the problem is that when it reaches the bottom, it's going to start flattening out again, and then it's going to curve again. It's going to come up, and of course it's going to go through the dark spot again. Then when it reaches the top, it's going to brighten. This area here. Now here's another interesting thing, is that where the transition is abrupt, like that, if I make abrupt transitions, it almost appears as if I've got a sharp edge. See that? I got myself a sharp edge. And now you have to be able to coordinate the silhouette with the shading. See that? You want things to turn away, then you have to adjust the silhouette to make it appear as if it's turning away, and you have to coordinate the value with the silhouette, with the convergence of the silhouette. So that's, in a nutshell, how I work. I don't think about grabbing a particular color from this. I look, where's the darkest, where's the most saturated, where's the lightest. I only pick from a few choice regions. So that's it.